His Excellency President Ranil Wickremesinghe, Professor Maitri Wickremesinghe, members of the Cabinet, members of Parliament, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Vanakkam, Assalamu alaikum. Sri Lanka has always been a proud and resilient nation. We have weathered 30 years of civil war, and we had more than a fair share of storms of tsunami proportion. But in the recent years, misfortune has hammered us at an unwarranted gale force pace. Just when we thought that racial strife was a thing of the past, in 2018 we were struck by racial riots that jolted the nation, and an unprecedented political crisis led to a serious blow to our tourism sector. Then came the Easter Sunday attack in 2019, which dragged our nation into depths of despair. As if that wasn't enough, the COVID-19 pandemic struck in 2022, bringing the world to its knees and pushing our economy off the cliff. Our GDP, which was going at 6.5% year-on-year basis in 2007, nosedived to a negative 5% in the year 2020. Without taking necessary steps to organically nourish and grow our GDP, instead we opted for quick fixes. In 2021, these artificial stimulus measures led to a GDP growth of 3.9%, but in 2022, we saw devastating consequences of this approach, a negative growth of 7.8%. The burden was too much to bear. For the first time in our history, we defaulted in our debt. Inflation shot up to 70% by September 2022, and the Sri Lanka rupee took a 45% plunge in value against the US dollar. I don't need to remind you of the fuel and gas shortages, the food and medicine shortages, the endless power cuts, and the dark days of history. We all suffered through this crisis. The corporate sector, which you represent, was hanging by a thread, facing unprecedented challenges that made it impossible to stay afloat. In the middle of this chaos, when our nation was crying out for leadership, one man stepped up to the challenge, our incumbent president, His Excellency Ranil Wickremesinghe. While others ran for cover, he decided to take the bull by the horns. Only a courageous leader can do this. 2 years ago, at a critical point, he made informed decisions. Armed with experience, he used reason based on knowledge and logic to steer the country to a safe place. Under his leadership, we began to see recovery towards the end of 2023. Our GDP growth in the fourth quarter reached a promising 4.5%. And in December 2023, our inward remittances crossed US dollars 570 million, the highest in 33 months. This was not a small feat. It was a clear sign that we're beginning to turn the corner. The successful debt restructuring has paved the way for a new beginning, and we are fortunate to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Our tourist arrivals that are plummeted to an all-time low are slowly but surely picking up. We are not out of the woods, ladies and gentlemen. The road ahead is full of challenges and is fragile. At this juncture, the nation calls for responsibility, stability, and most importantly, continuity. The foundation of change in the private sector has been laid and need to be developed and enhanced. For now, temporarily, we have overcome the balance of payment crisis in Sri Lanka and has demonstrated its ability to maintain a balance of payment surplus, and in the short term, thanks to recovery in our trade deficit and reduced debt payments. But let's not kid ourselves. If we don't start paying our debts, we would brace ourselves for depreciation of the currency that could open a whole new can of worms. If we delay the necessary reforms, if we fail to secure adequate bridge financing, and if we bring about abrupt policy changes, the consequences will be disastrous. We risk completely losing all the progress we have made. I shudder to think that if we take a wrong step, we would be the next Zimbabwe, Argentina, Venezuela, and now Maldives. President Wickremesinghe has demonstrated that he has deep knowledge. His ability to make difficult decisions, as Honorable Kanchana pointed out, in the face of adversity, and his can-do attitude got our nation to a place of stability. It would be easier to woo the voters with short-term promises and dreams. Instead, he focuses on a long-term workable plan to ensure Sri Lanka will become a first world country by 2048. I respect you, sir, for not submitting to make a false. I respect you, sir, for not submitting to making false promises at a time when popularity is vital to win an election. While others sell dreams, you have explained to us the reality. However tough it may seem to be, the dreams offered by others are not based on real numbers, actual experiences, or realistic vision. These policies lack the fiscal discipline for continued economic development. Their lack of experience at this crucial time would cripple our economy beyond repair. As it stands, we have outperformed the IMF forecast and are taking firm steps towards recovery. We have to look to a leadership that has the stature, the courage, and a proven track record continue to stay in course. Ladies and gentlemen, the choice before us is as clear as day. We can either stay the course with the leader who has proved his mettle, or we can gamble our future on empty promises. I urge you to choose wisely. Ladies and gentlemen, let's elect a leader with courage, the vision, and the experience to reach Sri Lanka to a brighter future we all deserve. Thank you.